This is the Giraffes Don't Eat Steak podcast, a show that brings you marketing stories, tips, hints, and much more. A treat for those who want to succeed in business or marketers who just want to learn.
So who's the better singer, you or me?
Definitely you, Alex, definitely you.
That's kind of worrying when someone says that my singing voice is better than theirs. I mean, I could just sing a song now. Say my name, say my name. Do, 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 do. Try even know the rest of the words to that song. But you can attest, and everybody listening to this now can attest that my singing voice is not that great. Although I have to say, as soon as I get on the microphone, there's a little bit of reverb, and I've got an audience in front of me. The landscape changes, and my voice comes alive.
I have to agree with that. I've been in a few karaoke bars with you. Stage is your stage, let's say that.
That's true. That's true.
But actually, the lyrics of those that song is so pertinent to marketing. Because say my name, everyone responds when you say their name, right? It's a real thing.
That is true. And saying your name correctly.
Yep, spelling it correctly. You know how much it freaks me out when someone puts a K in my name.
Dear Erica, Erika. Delete.
Absolutely. I've moved on, especially when you're replying to my LinkedIn profile, which quite clearly spells it correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But personalization is really, really important in marketing, and using all the tools you have available to actually just input first name here. Everyone responds better to their name, right?
Exactly. It's even, I say, as you know, I do quite a lot of jujitsu, and I often visit different gyms, and this is exactly the same. When the instructor remembers my name, it makes a huge difference. And why is that any different to when you're trying to send out an email pack or a newsletter or something like that, and you have the ability to add in their name because you have their database? It's exactly the same. When I entered the club and I've only been there twice, for example, and he's like, "Hey, good morning, Alex. How are you doing?" I immediately feel like I'm part of it. It's the same as if he said to me, "Oh, hey, morning," I would feel a lot less close and more. Yeah, exactly. And this is the same saying hi there on an email versus hi, Alex.
And I mean, this song is interesting. She talks about you're acting kind of shady because obviously someone else is in the room. And so it also, not saying someone's name can give you that kind of, is this just for everyone? This is not about me. You've done this blanket, one size fits all. You don't understand who I am kind of a feeling, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. And I bet you've had many, many examples of, well, you've been quite, what's the word? Engaged with a lot of catfishing, right?
Absolutely. And they never say my name. They always call me darling or sweetie or honey. Why? Because they're talking to 55 other women and they're scared they get the name wrong.
And that's exactly why it's Destiny's Child, right?
I think so, yeah.
They're saying something kind of shady. And that's exactly what you think. As soon as you get an email that isn't personalized and the language is not quite right, either with your name or the spelling as well, which I guess is also another huge part of that.
Oh, my worst is when they give me a wrong name. You must remember that flight we went on, or flight we didn't go on, Alex, because we were there at the wrong day, where we tried to check in. They gave us different names, right? They were like, oh, we're like, no, that's not us. No, that's not us. So getting the wrong name, think of a LinkedIn message where someone goes, "Hi, Veronica."
Yeah. New.
So obviously copy paste, please don't do it. So if you are going to use personalization, you must make sure it's right. Test it, make sure your coding works. If you have someone who knows the system, it's good because they can make sure everything's in the right place.
Exactly.
Or putting Mackay instead of Erica, right? Where it's like, hi, Mackay. No,
Yeah.
that's not my name.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it's just, and there's a lot of really easy things to do when setting up those kind of campaigns. So for example, just checking your database, making sure that the columns are correct, your first name, last name. Sometimes they can be swapped around. I guess maybe even sometimes when people have filled in your form and they've made a mistake, they put their first name in the surname box, or that, just if you can do a check, you can even do a kind of automated check of that. Just simple things like that make a huge difference. And then there's also lots of other tools as well if they've been engaging with your site. Personalization is not just their name, right? It could be anything from any type of engagement they've had with your brand, and you can bring that up. But do you think there's a level of that? Do you think there's a step too far, or of being, the creepy guy who knows too much? Or do you think there's a balance?
Yeah, that is an interesting one. I think you said this to me once. You said I'm the epitome of first impressions count, right? So someone who comes to talk to me about, and they push my buttons, they've read my profile, they see that I love hunting catfish, they know that I was a bodyguard, someone who's done a little bit of research, they've kind of won already. But I wonder what would be too much, where I'd start feeling like, oh, now you're being a little bit stalkery. I'm not sure I want you to know all this stuff. I guess it's about testing, like how much makes people feel comfortable and how much turns you off, where they're not responding to your campaigns anymore. And this is what's lovely about marketing, right? You can just test and learn, test and learn, test and learn. Keep adding your personalization in. The more you know, the more people are willing to share with you. And then there'll be a line where suddenly you'll get crickets and you'll be like, oh, okay, cross the line, come back, come back, come back.
Yeah, no, exactly. And be clever with your testing as well. Try not to test your whole database. If you have a good bucket, you can just take a small percentage of it, test within within 10% of it, instead of sending out your whole database and potentially alienating them with some creepy stalker vibes. Yeah.
Well, good song, Alex. Destiny's Child, always a winner. Say my name and win in your marketing game. Oh, I said a rhyme.
Nice. Excellent.
Till next time, if you're not following us, please click follow right now to hear the next exciting song we're going to come up with. Bye.
Bye. That wraps up this episode of Giraffes Don't Eat Steak. Thanks for joining us. I hope you found value in our discussion and got some new ideas to apply to your own business. Tune in next week for another round of marketing insights and inspiration. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate you listening. Catch you next time on Giraffes Don't Eat Steak.